In your body scanning, you can scan from the top of your head down to the soles of your feet. So if you notice any tension, any tightness in your muscles, breathe in and relax those tensions away. Breathe out, relaxing your body. And for now, you may breathe in, bringing your shoulders up and dropping your shoulders as you breathe out. You may inhale through your nostrils and exhale from your mouth. You can bring your shoulders all the way up one more time. Inhale through your nostrils and exhale deeply through your mouth. One more time. And now back to the scanning of your body. You notice your forehead release with each inhale. Relax any tensions, tightnesses with each exhale, and down to the temples and your eyes. You can keep a gentle smile in your mind, in your heart, in your lips as well. And that is a pleasant attitude. And relax the back of your head. Relax your neck, your shoulders, and a sense of relaxation goes down your elbows toward your wrists and palms and fingers. Relax your chest, relax your abdomen. With each breath, you relax the back of your head, your upper back, mid back, and lower back. Notice the S shape of your spine, and you are keeping your body in an upright position. Now you relax your hips and sitting bones. Your thigh muscles, your knees. Relax your shin bones, Relax your ankles. Relax your toes and the soles of your feet. Slowly and gradually, you are getting deeply rooted to the ground below. Feel the surface below the body and feel that you are a statue that does not have to move, and invite positive energy from this rainy day. Come home to your breath. Mindfully, you notice you are inhaling through your nostrils and naturally exhaling through your nostrils. Your mind is present with each breath. Your eyes are not trying to focus on your breath. Your eyes are resting. You notice the breath and its movements with your mind's eye. Now expand your awareness from your breath to the whole upper body, especially your shoulders, as they move with each breath you take. When you get distracted with any thought stream, you come back to your breath. Notice the changing nature of each breath. Sometimes the breath is deep, sometimes it is shallow. and you are mindful enough to notice these changes. Now notice a sense of deep relaxation that you may feel in your upper body. And you keep coming back to your breath. You are with the sensations of your breath, mostly pleasant sensations. Letting go of your body or parts of your body, you may continue to breathe in and breathe out. You may feel like some parts of your body disappear, and you are okay with that. This is not a numbing feeling, this is just that your awareness is moving beyond the body to the mind. You can still notice your breath and its movements. Your mind keep coming to your breath effortlessly, and you take delight in this observation of your breath. Notice the light in the room, as if you are entering the mind domain. Awareness that there is a body is established in you to the extent necessary for bare knowledge, and you remain without clinging to any aspect of your body or any mental occurrences. You let things come and go, and with the wisdom eye, you know that you are not those things. Continue relaxing your body. If your body wants to do deep inhalings and exhalings, you completely surrender to this breath. Although it is your mind that notices it vividly now. A sense of relaxation runs down your body, calmness pouring into your body. Subtle thoughts appear and disappear, but you notice that your mind can come back to your breath now. Your mindfulness of breathing is somewhat established, and you Notice that you like to stay in this state, in this deep, calm, relaxed state of being. You notice sounds and all other things. They are there, but your mind is not involved with them. A sense of strong samadhi is felt in your upper body. Your jaws are relaxed, and that smile you started maybe still there. So you are in a pleasant state of being, mentally and physically. Take a moment to express gratitude to this peace that you cultivated. We may come out of our meditation with a promise to come back to this peaceful state whenever we can and as often as we can. And that way it helps us to let go of the past and future and be present with this moment. You can now stretch and open your eyes, unless you want to continue meditating. We have an interesting subject to discuss today. Uh, we are discussing on rebirth and past life memories. Cross-cultural exploration. So you fasten your seat belts. We are going to cross life. So we have notable stories of rebirth across cultures. The first story is from India. This is Shanti Devi. Born in Delhi in 1926, Shanti Devi began recounting memories of a past life at the age of 4. She claimed to be Lugdi Devi, a woman from Mathura who died shortly after childbirth. Shanti provided details information about Lugdi's life, family, and circumstances of death. An investigation initiated by Mahatma Gandhi confirmed many of her statements, making this one of the most well-documented cases of past life recall. Now we go to Suresh's country, Nepal. The Unmistaken Child, the 2008 documentary Unmistaken Child follows the journey of Tenzin Zopa, a Nepalese monk in his search for the reincarnation of his master, Geshe Lama Konchog. The film documents Tenzin's quest through remote regions of Nepal, where he identifies a young boy who exhibits behaviors and knowledge consistent with the late Lama. The boy undergoes traditional tests and is eventually recognized as the reincarnated master. Number 3, Cameron Macaulay, Scotland. Cameron Macaulay, a boy from Glasgow, began sharing vivid memories of a previous life on the Isle of Barra. He described a white house, a black and white dog, and specific family details. Upon visiting Barra, his family found a house matching his descriptions and met locals who confirmed the existence of the family he remembered. Number 4, James Leninger, USA. James Leninger from Louisiana began having nightmares about plane crashes at the age of 2. He provided detailed information about being a World War II pilot named James Houston, who was shot down over Iwo Jima. His parents researched and found that the details he provided matched the life of a pilot who died in 1945. Number 5, Ryan Hammonds, USA. At the age of 4, Ryan Hammonds from Oklahoma began recounting memories of being a Hollywood actor and agent in the 1930s and 1940s. He provided specific details about his life, including interactions with famous actors and scenes from old movies. His parents investigated and discovered that his memories corresponded to the life of Mary Martin, a Hollywood agent who died in 1964. Number 6, Purnima Ekanaike, Sri Lanka. That's where I am from. Purnima Ekanaike from Bakamuna, Sri Lanka, began recalling a previous life as Jinadasa Pereira, the boy's name, a man who sold incense sticks. Sri Lanka is a Buddhist country and they sell these incense sticks a lot, and died in a road accident. At age 4, she accurately described his business, family, and death. Investigations confirmed many of her details matched the life of Jinadasa, who had died 2 years before her death. Then another Sri Lankan, Dhammaruwan, who became a monk later. Dhammaruwan also from Sri Lanka, began chanting Buddhist discourses in Pali at the age of 2. He claimed, this went viral, he claimed to have been a reciter monk in a previous life, studying under the renowned scholar Buddhaghosa. He is a commentator from the 5th century. His chants were recorded and analyzed, revealing versions of texts not found in modern sources, suggesting he had no way of learning them in his current lifetime. So we can discuss about this today. These cases span various cultures and contexts, offering detailed memories of past lives for discussion. So the one question you may have is, do such stories provide credible evidence for reincarnation? Number 2, how might culture and belief systems shape these experiences? I thought these stories exist only in Buddhist countries, but they exist outside the Buddhist world or outside the Hindu world. So you read a story from Scotland and 2 stories from USA. And these countries are not Buddhist countries, so they are there, right? Number 3, can alternative explanations like cryptomnesia, the phenomenon of not recognizing the return of an old memory as a product of memory, but instead regarding it as a new or original thought of or idea, also called self-plagiarism, or coincidence, account for these cases? Number 4, what do these stories reveal about the nature of consciousness and its potential continuity beyond physical death? Number 5, how do these cases align with religious or philosophical teachings about rebirth? These are things that we can explore in a teaching like this. So we can explore whether these accounts support the phenomenon of rebirth or provide insights into the mysteries of human consciousness and memory. So I've added 2 suttas. The first one is Mahatanha Sankhya Sutta, Majjhima Nikaya 38, the greater discourse on the destruction of craving. This discourse addresses misconceptions about rebirth. The Buddha explains that rebirth occurs due to craving and the mistaken belief in a permanent self, which is something refuted in Buddhist teachings. The Buddha rejects eternalist and annihilationist views, emphasizing dependent origination because consciousness is dependently arisen every moment, arisen every moment, as the process governing rebirth. And the excerpt, because of craving, there is clinging. This is the dependent origination. Because of clinging, there is becoming. Because of becoming, there is birth. And because of birth, there is aging and death, sorrow, lamentation, pain, grief, and despair. This is how this entire mass of suffering arises. Then Chula Kamma Vibhanga Sutta, Majjhima Nikaya 135, the shorter discourse on karma. This sutta explains how past actions, karma, influences the nature of rebirth. For example, acts of generosity and kindness lead to pleasant rebirths, while harmful actions lead to suffering in future lives. Except, beings are owners of their actions, heirs of their actions, born of their actions, related to their actions, and have their actions as their arbitrator. Action is what distinguishes beings as inferior and superior. Okay. So actions means karma here. Implications of rebirth in practice. The teachings on rebirth emphasizes the importance of ethical conduct, sila, meditation, samadhi, and wisdom, panya, to break free from samsara, the cycle of birth and death, and attain nibbana. Nibbana means no fire. The fires indicate greed, fire of greed, fire of hatred, and fire of delusion. Recognizing the cyclic nature of existence can inspire deeper commitment to mindfulness and the cessation of craving. Okay, what do you think?
Saying bad things happen to good people, that would be thrown out. Because if bad things are happening to you, that would means that you did something bad in the past life. What about genocide? What about Palestinians and so forth getting wiped out? The Holocaust? What about the suffering and so forth? Maybe all those people deserved it?
No, that is not how the Buddha looked at it. Karma is not the only reason why people suffer. Like when tsunami happened, you cannot say that it is their karma. That is very unkind to say that. That natural causes also do happen, and humans make bad decisions sometimes, and that those decisions impact other humans and destroy lives, unfortunately. So, yeah. Craving here means um, three kinds. Craving for sensual desire, which means, anything that you crave through your six sense faculties. We crave to see things. So, we like certain things. And then we dislike other things. We do that because of craving. With seeing, we go to things that we like to hear. Music, for example. We love some music and we hate other music. That is craving. And then we love certain smells and then we hate other smells, and that is craving. And then we love to taste some food and we hate other food. That is craving. And then we love certain touches, but we hate other touches, and that is craving. In our minds, we love certain thoughts and we dislike other thoughts, and that is craving. And with that craving, there is also craving for heaven, existence, wanting to stay forever united with a heavenly being or creator being. That is recognized as a craving. And then also there's another craving that is bad, that is a nihilistic craving, which is actually, it works like this, that when you crave that, your life does not continue beyond this birth. Therefore, you just disregard your mother, father, and good actions, bad actions. You steal and eat anything you want, and you become literally unethical. So these views are refuted in Buddha's teachings. So craving generally is that which causes suffering in different ways. Especially having to you wish something and it doesn't happen, and there is suffering. That is because you didn't understand how craving worked in your mind, and there is mental pain. So usually the root cause of suffering is craving. Yeah. Alan, you have a question?
Craving.
You eliminate craving by cultivating wholesome states of mind, which requires meditation, mindfulness, and when craving arises in your mind, not being fixated on cultivating that kind of mind. And it's a gradual process. We have the Eightfold Path that we can cultivate, understanding that suffering arises from craving. You decide to have three kinds of thoughts: thoughts of letting go, thoughts of being free from cruelty, that means choosing compassion, and then thoughts of letting go of anger, that means choosing loving kindness. The moment you decide to do that, you are on the right track. And for that, when you do that, your speech becomes pleasant, and your actions become pleasant, and your livelihood becomes pleasant, and you make right effort to maintain that state, those states in your mind, ultimately meditating and coming to samadhi, the stillness of your mind. And then you go deeper in your mind realm, experiencing states free from craving. Yeah. So craving is a great teacher. It's called the second noble truth in Buddhism. How true this craving is. That is how the Buddhas looked at it. And the first noble truth is suffering. And the cause of suffering is the craving. And the third truth is that there is cessation of craving and that it is possible. And the fourth truth is the Eightfold Path. When you follow it, craving gets eliminated and you can live a life that is free from craving. So as long as there is any trace of craving, we are bound to suffer through greed, hatred, and delusion, which are root causes of our suffering. I can, go on and on explaining these things, but I want to pause and ask if you have questions. Nicole?
Oh, well, I was curious with rebirth.
Mm-hmm.
Are there patterns of rebirth, like families, friends, networks, and people that would be gravitated?
Yeah. They say in Buddhist literature, they say that you keep meeting the same people again and again and you quickly connect with them. If you have a partner that you suffer with, you must have history with this person from past. So the way out is actually ending the cycle and getting out of the wheel. Like I'm getting out of this train. I don't want to continue with this group of passengers. Get off the train. It's a driverless train, actually.
Keep meeting the same challenges until you
Yes, until you conquer them. And the greatest healing you can do is to heal yourself and move on. Forgive yourself for, staying in those situations too long, and then forgive them. And that is the way to heal yourself. That way, there's no reverse karma or repetitive karma. That if you had a cruel parent and you had to look after them, you happily do it until they die, so that that karma is neutralized. You see, that is how the Buddhist world look at things. And I have read, this is not something we read here, that someone who die um, after someone is born, right? Now, 2 years after some child is born and somebody dies, and that person who died speaks through this child. This is not discussed in Buddhism, but I've read stories about these cases. And that is how mysterious the concept of rebirth is. It's like being possessed. But it's not that child who used to be there. It's a different person completely now from now on. And that the Buddha has said though that don't think about, by thinking you cannot come to conclusions about these things. So don't think about them, you will go mad. So I stopped thinking about them. Yeah. He said, karma, you cannot completely understand it. Only the awakened ones like Buddhas can understand it. And he said he has only taught this much. He took some leaves from the Sinsapa forest and said, I've only taught this much, and what I have not taught is the whole forest. And he said, don't try to understand Buddhas, don't try to understand deeper jhanas and how they work. Which, he said, try to cultivate them, but don't go thinking about them. Thinking is not the way, thinking leads to overthinking, and then you get entangled with, some people, before, they ask the question, and before you respond, they ask another question, and then before you finish answering that, they ask another question. That is a state, that's a person who has some overthinking and just wanting to just get the satisfaction of only asking and never wanting a response. That's kind of overthinking about these subjects. Any questions from online? Do you recall any past life experiences, from your life? And you must have heard of these, right? On TV documentaries, Netflix, time to time, and then we think, oh, it's amazing, and then we forget about it, right? So.
My mother told me that my aunt, who's 65 now, when she was born, she was afraid of planes when she was 2 or 3 years old.
Mm.
Anytime a plane would fly, she would
Panic.
run away, and she had nightmares about war. But she hadn't been exposed
To any war. Yeah.
and she forgot once she got older.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, and my grandmother said anytime a plane would fly over the house, my aunt, like even before she could talk, she would run under a table.
So yeah, some people, this explains some, why some people have certain trauma and fear when they were never exposed to trauma in this present life. And it may be coming from a previous life experience. That's the only explanation for it. And therefore they have what they call the past life regression meditation. I have tried that a couple of times using YouTube videos. They guide you through this. I never go to past life though, but I get a very deep relaxation from it. And sometimes they say wake up, but then by that point I fall asleep also. It's that relaxing. So I was never afraid of that kind of meditation. But I know that by wanting, you cannot visit your past lives. It has to be in Buddhist discourses. I see that you have to develop your mind to a very equanimous, pure state, and that your mind is malleable, and you can tell the mind to do whatever. And then if the one thing you can do is to ask your mind to visit the previous life. And if there is any experience of you dying or being born or any accident or anything, because of the power of equanimity, especially after cultivating a state of meditation called fourth jhana, very pure state of equanimity, you are not shaken because of those experiences. Yeah. But I do know that not everybody experiences jhanas that deeply. Experiencing it one thing, mastery is another. It's like path and fruition. These are two things. And it requires effortless balance of your mind. So, but some monks don't care about, monks and meditators, they don't care about these levels. They just want to know the truth, and that's it for them. Yeah, they don't necessarily cultivate any jhanas. They do know them. They may have glimpses of them, but they don't stop there and cultivate them. That one can get attached to these states when they are very profoundly felt in your experience. So we need extreme, strong mindfulness to overcome them. Anyway, I'm using language like jhanas. Jhanas are like deep levels of meditations. So it's maybe too early for some of you to hear these words. Yeah.
My mother's stepsister asked her mother, if you were reincarnated, how will you come back?
Mm-hmm.
And she said, a horse, of course.
Mm-hmm.
And then after she died, my mom's stepsister bought a horse, and she swore that she looked in the eyes and she swore her mother was in there.
Mm-hmm.
And the horse's name was Naturally,
Mm.
of course.
Yeah. Beautiful. Thank you for sharing that. That reminds me of two things. One thing is that the reincarnation culture of His Holiness the Dalai Lama, the whole culture believes that he will be reborn. And Suresh and I, we discussed about how that has now become politicalized, if that is a word, And I don't want to say so-and-so government has named somebody else now to take control and to be able to control that person, not the actual reincarnation. And then His Holiness renounced the concept of re reincarnation and said, I'm not coming back. And the other thing is there was, as part of religious culture, at the time of the Buddha, in India, these cultures still exist. Some people want to practice living not as humans, but as a dog. And when they are given food, they eat like dogs and they drink like dogs. They don't want to, to live like humans. They do that to show simplicity, and they are worshipped in that culture. And there were two who did that, and they came to the Buddha, and the Buddha was known to reveal future births of individuals. So they were curious about their future births. And the Buddha said, I don't know, I don't want to, reveal that to you. So they insisted. And then the Buddha finally said, obviously you two are going to be born as dogs. And that's the kind of mindset they developed. And I can see that if you are okay with that, that is what you want. So people in this culture loves dogs, and but if you want to be a dog in Asia, you are going to get, you will see sticks flying over you, and you have to survive road accidents and face starvation and all other problems, no vets looking after you. So therefore, I think the whole concept is not a good thing in that culture. And people in that culture think that if you want to be a dog in a culture where dogs are loved. Yeah, American, British, Australian, Japanese.
Logically, things are going downhill so fast, there might not be dogs in a few years.
Yeah.
Creatures. what happens if there's nuclear war? Or
Yeah.
The planet is devastated. What if there's nothing to come back as?
Yeah.
What then?
I think yes, and I think some Buddhist teachings speak to that, and that of course, the physical body destroys, but that doesn't mean that we can exist in some form of existence, that we will continue in a kind of a divine form of existence, which is like an astral body state until conditions are ready for us to reappear. That's how things have happened according to Aganya Sutta, which is about endless beginnings, also called Buddhist Genesis. And it says it takes about eons for us to, for the whole place to be ready for us to reappear. But that destruction doesn't mean that, of course, what we know now will be destroyed, but there will be continuity. Or some people survive somehow and they learn the lesson. It seems like we never learn. And then they start to be virtuous and abandon these destructive ways, and their lifespan increases, and says that it increases from 10 to 80,000 or even more. Whether it is robotics or bioengineering, I have no clue. Maybe we don't have that knowledge. But Buddhism does not hesitate to talk about these things very openly in the suttas, Buddhist discourses. Maybe not necessarily that our mind is limited to this body for now, but when it's free from this state, it can go anywhere. Yeah.
Isn't the goal to be free?
The goal, exactly. Before that happens, the goal is to be free. Not the body, just any state of being. Like just being the pure consciousness itself. And not exist at all in any place. Like no birth is taken by you.
Well, that's what I mean, to be free.
Yeah, to be free of any existence. Like neutralized, like a candle, the flame of a candle gone, and it was burning only when conditions were present, and when it's gone, you cannot find where it went. That is a metaphor. Yeah. 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 It was burning when conditions were present. Yeah. All right, we've come to the end of today's session. We will share merits. Please join your palms together and join me with this wish. May suffering ones be suffering free and the fear-struck fearless be. May the grieving shed all grief and may all beings find relief. May all beings share this merit that we have thus acquired for the acquisition of all kinds of happiness. May beings inhabiting space and earth, devas and nagas of mighty power, share this merit of ours. May they long protect you and protect the Buddha's teaching. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. Thank you for coming. Thank you for listening. Until next time.